So a lot of people have been wondering, since we got that gameplay demo, how far along within the development cycle of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 are we? Is it the final build of the game or not? Is this one of the builds that's a lot older than 2023? A lot of questions that everybody has on their minds here. And on the flip side, when it comes to the actual story of the game, another question that's been huge in the Insomniac community is where the symbiote comes from. Is it a man-made thing like the Ultimate Comics, or is it more alien-like the 616? We're gonna answer these questions and more here in today's video. But before we do so, if you cannot wait to jump into Marvel Spider-Man 2 and try out the symbiote suit for yourself, I need you to scroll down and hit that thumbs up button, and let's keep crushing it and go for another 5,000 likes. And with that being said, let's get into this now. So as I mentioned in yesterday's video, a lot of people were tweeting at the Insomniac Games Twitter, as well as James Stevenson, who works at Insomniac, asking whether or not there was a downgrade from the reveal trailer for Spider-Man 2 to the gameplay demo we recently got during the PlayStation Showcase. And James Stevenson just immediately shut it down by saying no, he really didn't add that much more to it, and I don't think he needs to. There's this funny little thing that happens from that trailer in 2021 to the gameplay demo that we got last week, and it's this cool thing that happens in real life too. It's called like a different time of day. I know, it's actually crazy stuff to think about, but you know, that's just what happened. But we got some more information about this demo that we got last week during the PlayStation Showcase from Ben Arfman, who works at Insomniac Games currently as the Associate Narrative Director on Marvel's Spider-Man 2. He tweeted out when that gameplay demo dropped and said, "Absolutely wild. The mission featured in our gameplay reveal was the very first content I quote-unquote mission directed on Spider-Man 2. Been a long road." And then he added, "Even wilder, this isn't even the craziest stuff in the game. Not by a long shot. Fall 2023, here we come." Hell yes, I am so excited. And then James Stevenson actually added on to this. He quote tweeted and said, "I saw a couple people saying, 'Oh my god, you spoiled so much.' We barely scratched the surface on this game and story." I think that was safe to say. Again, a lot of people jumping to conclusions so quickly here, but we've really only reached the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so much we're going to see throughout the summer leading into the fall that's going to give us a great look at this game and what we can expect. And I'd imagine that it was going to get a lot crazier than that demo that we got. I'm just really excited to see how crazy it's actually going to get. You gotta wonder what that actual boss battle against the Lizard is going to look like, what a fight that's inevitable between Miles and Peter could look like, Venom, Kraven. There's so much we have yet to see, and to be honest, so much that I hope we don't see. You know, they said that they held out on a lot from this gameplay reveal, and I hope they continue to do so in the marketing push that they're going to give us over the next couple of months. But James Stevenson was also asked a question very recently that I felt like didn't really need an answer, but I'll show it for you guys just in case there's still some people out there that are a little confused as to how game development works. You see, somebody tweeted at James and said, "Question, is the latest Spider-Man 2 gameplay footage the final build of the game?" And he simply replied with a gif that says no. Again, I didn't think we needed to spell this one out, but there's your confirmation that the gameplay demo that we got from the game that's not out yet and doesn't even have an announced release date wasn't the final build of the game. I think a more important question to ask is, well, when was this build from? Is it from 2022? Is it from even as far back as 2021? Or is it a build that's closer to the final build? Regardless, we don't have an official release date yet, but thankfully everyone at Insomniac, everybody at PlayStation as well, is saying, nope, this game is coming out in the fall. So I don't think we need to worry about a delay. They just need to nail down a release date once they're sure that they can reach it. Like at this point, all we need to be hoping for is that the folks at Insomniac are confident enough to reach an earlier release date in the fall than going towards the latter half of the fall. You know, the same way that I'm currently confident in being your #1 source for all things Marvel Spider-Man 2 related, which is why you should subscribe and turn on those notifications. Fingers crossed that Tony Todd is still correct from what he leaked a little while ago in that this game is coming out in September, because I would be so hyped. But moving on to another topic that's more story related, a lot of people are asking, like I said at the top of the video, where the symbiote in this universe comes from. It's not entirely a far-fetched guess or an assumption to make that this is going to be a man-made symbiote. It was in possession of Oscorp, so it could be them that made it. Or maybe Curt Connors is the one that made this symbiote, and maybe that's why he's got a second chance here at Oscorp with Norman Osborn, considering in universe, canonically, he was already the Lizard once. But then a lot of people are also theorizing that they might just go with the classic storyline, the classic origin of the symbiote, and make it an alien from outer space. The thing is, though, I believe we have some evidence actually as to what this storyline is going to be like, or what the origin will be, at least for the symbiote in Spider-Man 2. You see, resident Spider fan, member of the community, and as well an incredible cosplayer, Khalid Brooks, actually found something in Spider-Man Miles Morales that might prove where the symbiote comes from. He made mention of a flashback mission that actually takes place in Spider-Man Miles Morales, where you're walking around with Finn in a science museum and you can actually see that Oscorp has spacecrafts. And they clearly went on some missions to space in some way, shape, or form. This could confirm that the symbiote from this universe does indeed come from space, but also it could potentially hint that we might see John Jameson show up in this game, and who knows, that could mean Man-Wolf is one of the villains. J. Jonah Jameson is definitely going to be playing a bigger role in this game. I mean, he's going to have a field day on Symbiote Peter, but also, you know, considering that MJ still works at the Bugle and he just very recently bought the Bugle from that Spider-Man 2 prequel comic, there might even be moments where we come face to face with J. Jonah Jameson, and I think that would be very interesting if John Jameson is involved as well. And honestly, if this theory ends up being correct based on the evidence that I just presented for you guys, I kind of like that Spider-Man 2 is going to make it so that the symbiote comes from space. I like when the symbiote is like an alien life form. It just makes it creepier, you know, when it gets attached to Peter. It makes it creepier when you see it moving and living and breathing on top of the suit. Something about that's just really effective for me. Plus, you know, they could go the spectacular Spider-Man route here, having Curt Connors involved. Maybe he was the one that was given it by Oscorp and he's the one who's experimenting on it, trying to figure out a way to use it to save Harry Osborn. We're just gonna have to wait and see, but man, I am so excited for Marvel Spider-Man 2. There's still so much to talk about for this game, which is amazing. And with that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the news that I got for you guys here today? Were you already aware that that gameplay demo wasn't the final build of the game? And also, where do you think the symbiote is going to come from? Do you think it's going to come from space based on that evidence, or do you think it's going to be man-made? I want to hear you sound off with all your thoughts in the comment section below. I've been Caboose. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys later.